Alright Pistons fans, so in today's video, we're going to be talking about the move of Kelly Olynyk, picking him up free agency day one. Let's get into this, man. So Troy Weaver, his master plan, moving off of Mason Plumlee, waiving Corey Joseph, his master plan, led to us getting Kelly Olynyk, man. He signed him to a 3-year, $37 million contract. Now look, just like most people in my comment section, I prefer Nerlens Noel, obviously. I feel like Nerlens Noel was the better fit because he added defensive presence to us, he had a rebounding presence to us, and he was also someone who I thought we could get for cheap. So I prefer Nerlens Noel. But don't get me wrong, I am not mad with this Kelly Olynyk signing. I just prefer someone like Nerlens Noel. So let's get into this, man. So it's been mixed feelings on this, and I want to give you guys the positive take to this because I do feel like this is a good move. So the player of Kelly Olynyk, I feel like he adds so much to this Pistons team because he is a guy who is a big, and he's just not any type of big. He is a modern center. He's not an old school type of player. He is someone who's going to come in here. He can stretch the floor for us. He can play well with Killian Hayes and Cade Cunningham. He's going to do beautiful with those guys because you can put him in pick and roll situations. You can have him fade to the three-point line, and you can have him roll to the basket because he can score the ball inside. So you have both options when it comes to the pick and roll and when it comes to the pick and fade. Giving a guy like Cade Cunningham, this type of player, in his first year in the NBA, this is massively going to improve Cade Cunningham, and it's really going to help him out. And Killian Hayes as well, who's the pass-first point guard, this is really going to help him out as well. So with our two young guards on the roster, this is a big move for those guys. And not just the guards, man. This also will help out someone like Isaiah Stewart and Luka Garza. So if you don't know what I mean by that, basically think about it like this, man. We now have the opportunity to start someone like Kelly Olynyk. Before today, we didn't have that option. We would have had to roll with Isaiah Stewart being the starter. And I'm not saying that he's not ready to be the starter, but I am saying that if Stewart goes through a rough period in the NBA, we may have to sub him out, make him the backup behind Kelly Olynyk on occasion. If he's having a few bad nights in a row, you sit him down, you let the veteran go before him, and then you let him go on the bench so that you could basically stop the bleeding. You don't have to force Isaiah Stewart into the starting role anymore. If you want to, you could start him, but at the same time, now you have a safety blanket. You have someone like Kelly Olynyk who can come in and give you solid starting minutes as an offensive center, and having Isaiah Stewart coming off the bench. If Stewart's not completely ready to go, if he has a few bad nights in the season, just throw in a veteran who's an offensive player. And what I meant by Luka Garza, this helps out Luka Garza as well because this just gives him some time to grow. You know, I really do like Luka Garza. I feel like he will be successful on the Pistons, but is Luka Garza 100% ready to go in the NBA? No. Luka Garza does need some work. He does need more development. So this buys time. This buys 1-2 more years of extra development for someone like Luka Garza. So it helps out Cade Cunningham and Killian Hayes. This helps out Isaiah Stewart and Luka Garza. And this just adds an offensive presence to the team, an offensive scorer who will be an upgrade over Mason Plumlee, someone who you actually have to be afraid of on offense. You know, this season and the time that he spent with the Houston Rockets, he played pretty well on offense, man. Now, I know he is not the defensive presence that we all wanted. You know, Isaiah Stewart being 6'9" last year by himself with a bad defender in Mason Plumlee. It was basically Isaiah Stewart out there by himself on defense, and he had a pretty rough time. He tried his best, but again, when it was only one defensive center, it was pretty rough for him. So this doesn't really help out on the defensive end of the floor, but it helps out offensively. And it's not like Kelly Olynyk is terrible on defense. Don't get me wrong, man. Kelly Olynyk, I'm not saying he's great on defense, but he's no slouch either. He is an upgrade over Mason Plumlee on defense as well. Like, think about their games. Look at Mason Plumlee and look at someone like Kelly Olynyk. Outside of playmaking, I give the edge to Kelly Olynyk over Mason Plumlee in every other category. Shooting, scoring, defense, rebounding. I give it all to Kelly Olynyk over Mason Plumlee. The only thing that you can get to Mason Plumlee is his playmaking ability. Outside of that, this is a definite upgrade over him. And yes, it's a bit more money. We signed Mason Plumlee to that $30 million deal, and whereas with Kelly Olynyk, it's $7 million more than Plumlee's was, $37 million in total. So we are paying more money for Kelly Olynyk, but I am fine with paying a little bit extra for this upgrade, man. And even if Kelly Olynyk doesn't work out, think about this, guys. We have the potential and the ability to trade him if need be. If he disappoints like Mason Plumlee disappointed us, we can just trade him in a deal and get value back. Get another second-round pick. In this previous draft, we ended up getting Balsa. I'm not too high on Balsa, but a lot of Pistons fans like Balsa. I've said that Balsa has defensive potential. I've said that he has playmaking potential. So even if Kelly Olynyk doesn't work out, we can end up trading him for a second-round pick in the future. But I don't think he's not going to work out. I believe that Kelly Olynyk will truly come here, give us solid minutes on offense. He will really help out the squad, help out the floor spacing, help out Killian Hayes, Cade Cunningham, and he will also buy time for Luka Garza, and he will also help out Isaiah Stewart's development. So I'm all in on this Kelly Olynyk deal. I don't really see how people are really upset with this. This is all a part of Troy Weaver's plan. Troy Weaver, since he's gotten here, he brought in Mason Plumlee, who was an offensive-oriented center. He got Luka Garza in the draft a few days ago, who's another offensive-oriented center. And now he has Kelly Olynyk, another offensive-oriented center. So it's obvious that Troy Weaver doesn't really care about rim protection. He probably didn't really go after Nerlens Noel like that. He was probably looking for the offensive guy, Kelly Olynyk. And if that's the way that Troy Weaver wants to build this team, he wants to go at the big position, he wants to go with offensive bigs, I'm fine with that, man. It's always in Troy we trust. Troy Weaver has a plan to lead this team to the future, back to the glory days. Similar to the 04 go-to-work Pistons, similar to the bad boy Pistons, Troy Weaver is trying to bring us back to that level, and someone like Kelly Olynyk will really help us get there. I'm thinking 10th, I'm thinking 9th seed, I'm thinking playing round. Now, I'm not necessarily saying that we're going to make the playoffs, but just all in all, man, in general, I feel like this deal is really, really good for us. He will give us solid minutes, and even if it goes bad, we can trade him at the end of the day. So, Pistons fans, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like this video, comment on this video, share this video. Thank y'all for 2K, and I'm out.